Before we start, I want to give everybody a little bit of information about Yin Yoga. Some of you might hear this again, so see this as a reminder, and other people might hear it for the first time. Um, what we're going to do in Yin Yoga is work with the fascia, and the fascia is like a sheet that covers your whole body. It's what's in between your muscles to make sure they can move frictionless. It's in between your all your organs to make them be able to slide next to another. But it's also all the way around. Yeah, basically everything that's in your body. So if you work on it, let's say in your arm, it can still also affect the muscles or at least everything else in your body. Like your whole body is connected in that way. And what we're going to do with Yin Yoga is we're going to hold the poses for 3 to 5 minutes. You can sort of see this as, we often use this analogy, is that it's like a hose. And in the pose, we're going to restrict the hose with the water in it just a little so that the water sort of bulks up in that part where we constricted it. And then when we do the counter pose or when we let go of the pose, it sort of flushes out the system so that it helps you to get rid of toxins and everything like that. It's a really slow movement and it's a long hold. So what I want you to remember is that we have like a traffic light kind of system in Yin Yoga. We got the green light, we got the orange light, and we got the red light. By no means are you ever supposed to be in the red light. If you feel any pain or you feel any discomfort that's not enjoyable, just discomfort, and just get out of the pose. Try to soften the pose or try to adjust the pose to your liking so that you can hold it. And yeah, what I want you to remember is that because we're holding the pose for a long time, even though it might be comfortable in the beginning, it might get a little less comfortable as we move to the 3 to 5 minutes. So try and really find a comfortable pose when you start out, and then feel your body relax into the pose. And if at any point during the minutes that we're in the pose, ease out of it if it gets too much for you. I think that was most of the things I needed to say to you. I just want you to remember that we want to move with the total awareness of the body. So I'm going to try and keep helping you to remember to come back to your breath and try and breathe. That being said, find a comfortable position, and any way that's comfortable to you. Maybe you sit up on a block, maybe you put your knees like this in more of a diamond pose, or maybe you're just gonna be in a lotus type of pose, crossing the legs. And then once you're there, close your eyes and try and feel your breath. And without any judgment, try to see where your breath is at right now. Is it in the upper region of your body? Or is it going all the way down to your lower belly? Is it shallow? Or is it a more deeper breath? See if you can deepen your breath. And if it helps for you, place one of your hands on top of your belly and try to breathe towards that hand. Maybe you have been sitting behind a computer all day long, working, or maybe you have been playing in the snow, or maybe you had a very busy day with one of your kids. Let it all go and take this hour just for you. reconnecting with your breath and reconnecting with your body. Keeping your awareness with your breath, I'm going to sound the bell 3 times. And as you hear the bell die out, maybe rotate your shoulders a little bit, roll your neck, and then gently and slowly open up your eyes again. Okay. Well, I want to ask you to come into a tabletop position. And then as you're there, rotate your wrist to face forward. And gently sit back just so you can feel a stretch in your forearms. Especially for the people who have been behind a computer all day. This is a nice stretch. For the people who are having a little problem with their knees, you can sit back a little further, placing more of the weight on your heels, and then find the stretch in your forearms from there. You're doing great. And while you're there, find your breath and try to see if you can breathe towards your belly again. We're not going to stay here too long, as it's a pretty tough stretch usually. But it also is a good beginning for you to feel what it does when you breathe towards the places that feel uncomfortable to you. So as you're breathing in, try and envision those spots where you feel tightness. And then as you're breathing out, try and let go of that tension. You're doing great. One more breath. Deep inhale and deep exhale. Then turn back around to be in a tabletop position. And then find which one is comfortable to you. I usually prefer keeping my knees together and sitting back, letting the arms sit outside or here. You're going to come into child's pose. Then for the people who have a pregnant belly, you might want to make some space, opening up the knees and sitting back onto your heels, stretching forward. Try and see where you can get. If you've got a block, Irena, you can place your forehead on your block, or you can even use a chair if you like. Doing great. Yeah, that's a good solution. We're going to stay here 3 minutes. Try to find your breath. And if at all possible, try and breathe towards your belly. And as with every pose in Yin, see if you can internalize the practice and close your eyes. Just concentrating all your attention on your breath. you got your knees closed, you might feel the breath being a little restricted at your belly, as your belly is pushing towards your upper legs. With that restriction, you might feel your upper back opening up when you breathe in. This allows you to stretch those muscles. And as you exhale, they relax. If you're in a wide-legged child's pose, you might feel the hips opening up and feeling all the muscles in your hips relax. If you got your hands next to your body, then you might feel the shoulders relax with your forehead on the ground, your shoulders slowly coming towards the ground. And if you've got your arms extended, you might feel the opening of the armpits. But in all poses, try to find your breath. Maybe some thoughts come up. Maybe some emotions come up. It's all fine. Just recognize them as such and let them go on, be on their way. You're doing good. 3 more deep breaths. On your next inhale, plant your hands on the mat and push yourself up. Be gentle with yourself as you might feel the blood rushing back. And then as you're there, move into the tabletop position again. Move your hands slightly forward and keeping your butt above your knees. So keeping them in line. Stretch into this puppy pose where you try to bring your chest or your chin to the mat. And if that's too much for you, then maybe place a few pillows underneath so that you can relax in this pose. So let me show you for that. Just place a pillow here and then place my chest on that so that I can relax. If you feel there's too much pressure on your knees, then try and sit back a little. And if you feel too much pressure on your back, then try and lean forward just a little bit more. For the people who have a problem with their knees, let me see if I can show you. Try to find a wall. And if you can, lean up against it like this. This might also be a good thing for a pregnant belly, but I see you already found a spot. Great. And once you're in your position, and try to find your breath again. The more ease you find within each position, the more your body is allowed to relax. And the more it's allowed to relax, the more flexibility you will gain from these exercises. the magic sort of happens with the relaxation. In our modern day, we are so used to being in a more stressed state that the mind might start to protest by now, saying, what are we doing? Why aren't we working? Why aren't we busy? Just notice that, and it's all okay. You're doing great. Try to experience your inhale and try to experience your exhale, going all the way in and all the way out. On your next inhale, come onto your forearms. Slowly let your belly sink onto the mat. And then place your hands on top of each other, placing your forehead on these hands. And let the heels just sort of fall out to the sides. Mommy can come onto her back if she likes that, or yeah, that works. Try to feel what the previous posture did for you. Maybe you feel a warm or tingly sensation in your back. Keep breathing, keep being aware. Next inhale, you can come onto your forearms and keep your toes and your legs together, zipped up in the midline. If this is not enough for you, I'm gonna come to all the other people. If this is not enough for you, you might wanna come onto your hands, but try and find the ease within this motion as you're gonna hold it for quite a while. Try and keep your legs together, all zipped up through the midline, and try to relax your bottom. If you have a belly that's in the way, then find a position. Do you have a block? You had a block, right? Or do you have a pillow or something? Yeah, great. Oh, yeah. Do you have a pillow too? Yeah, that works. You can put that under your butt and then just sort of stretch out like this, but see if it works for you. Super. You're doing great. Keep breathing. Try to find the position that works for you. Yeah, great. You're doing good. Try and find your breath. And try to breathe towards your belly. Inhaling and exhaling. Following your breath. Relaxing your butt cheeks. But keeping the legs together. And Tim, if it gets too much for you in your back, you might also open up the legs. That takes a little bit of the pressure off. And And if it's still too much for you, actually, Tim, you can also inch your forearms forward so you release some of the pressure and come on down a little lower. Keep breathing. Keep being aware. One more big breath in. And then as you exhale, come on to your hands again, letting the heels drop outward. And breathe a couple times here, feeling the lower back relax. Maybe feeling a little warmth going through that area. And just remember that you're doing great. On your next inhale, push yourself up towards the tabletop position. And then as you're there, place your right foot next to your hands and place your hands on the inside of your foot. Yeah, I think you can do this, Irene, but I'm not sure. But for the people, and try and relax into this position now, you guys. Try to feel the stretch on your hip flexor as you do this. And if you need a little more, then scoot back your back knee just a little more. But try and keep your knee over your ankle of the front leg. For the people who are having problems with their knees, you can come on to your back and then hold your foot like this and in a one-sided happy baby pose. Yeah, good job. If you can stretch out the other leg. You can hold it like a happy baby and then stretch out the other leg to the floor. If it's too much on the happy baby, then you can also grab a strap and get that around your foot so you can hold it. Or you can hold your shin if that works. Doing great. Keep breathing. And as you're here, try and breathe towards that hip flexor. Try to see if you can find a little more ease and just a little more space in those hips. And if you feel like it, then take your right hand and put it on your right knee. And then gently push it outward. But try to feel the resistance. If there's resistance or pain of any sorts, then you stop. Breathe a couple of times and then gently apply a little pressure again. Maybe you feel it. I usually feel it stretching out real nice, real smooth. Keep breathing. And then if you're up for a little bit more, again, stretch your right hand forward like you're going to grab something in front of you. And then point your thumb down. As you do that, circle it all the way around and try to grab your left foot. Then circle yourself towards the ceiling, looking up, opening the chest. You're doing great. Keep breathing. Keep opening up. And if you're done, you're done. Don't slingshot your foot. Just gently let it go and come back, placing the hands next to your foot again. Doing great, you guys. On your next exhale, move your hands back and come into this little runner stretch. Just take a couple breaths here to feel the stretch along the whole back of your leg. Doing great. Keep pointing your toes. Look toward your toes. Yes. Okay. Next inhale, roll back onto your foot. And then come back into the tabletop position. People who are on their back, you're fine, stay there. And then place your left foot next to the hands. And we do the same thing on the other side. You're doing great. Keep breathing. And find the ease within the pose. As you feel the hips opening up, you might want to get a little more action in again and place your left hand on your left knee and then gently open it up. Keep breathing, directing your breath to the places of tension. Doing great. I forgot to mention with the other side, but the people who are on their backs holding their legs, they can also gently push out their knee with the other hand if they like. Just be super gentle with it. As you feel like you need a little more, again, stretch out your left hand like you're going to grab something. Point your thumb to the floor and then go all the way around, grabbing your right foot this time. And then as you're there, open up towards the ceiling, stretching out the heart space and opening up. Keep breathing. Doing great. One more breath. And then gently let go. Don't slingshot. And bring your hand back. As you exhale, move your hands back again, being on either side of your leg. Come into this runner stretch where you look towards your toes and try to fold onto your left leg, keeping the toes engaged and active. And on the next inhale, roll over your foot and bring your foot back towards this tabletop position. You did absolutely great. Okay, just to stretch this out for the people who feel like it, you can come into a downward facing dog, just stretching out the legs, and then hold it for just a couple of breaths. And then on the next inhale, gently walk forward, come to this forward fold. Irene, voor jou, je kan je benen iets uit elkaar doen. And you got some space. And then I want you to go into a yogic squat. Most of you already know this position, but for the others, I want you to get your hands onto the floor. If you need to bend your legs a little, that's fine. And then try and come onto your tippy toes. Each alternating foot. And you feel the hips opening up. I can't reach my heels to the floor, so that's why I use these little tiny blocks. But you can just sit your bottom down and then place your upper arms towards your knees and against your upper legs, and your upper legs are going to press towards your upper arms. If this is too much for you, then please find something to sit on. And the higher that gets, the easier it gets on your knees and all of your other joints. Try to maintain the weight on your feet and not just on your bum. Awesome. Keep breathing and try to feel the hips opening up. You're doing great. Awesome. Keep breathing. In and out. And on the next exhale, place your hands behind you and sit down on your bum. Now we go into a position that's a favorite to some people. I'm not one of those people, but it's a very good position. I want you to stretch out your legs. And what we're going to do is we're going to fold forward. For the people who need the space, try and open your legs and fold forward in that way. If it's still too much, then there's also a idea for you to just go next to a wall and place your feet up against that or onto a chair, whichever works for you. But for every other all the other people, just sit up, get rid of the extra flesh, and on the exhale, keep your toes pointed, and then fold forward. On the exhale. On the inhale, try to lengthen. Every inhale, try to lengthen your spine, and on the exhale, try to relax into the pose. If you feel like you are too far away from your legs, you can also grab a pillow and just lay down on that. Try to find the ease. And the idea of this pose is to feel a stretch in your lower back. They sometimes say in Yin Yoga that the people who don't use any attributes, so who don't use any props, as we call them in yoga, are the people who have a hard time asking for help in their real life as well. So just try to feel what your body needs today. And if it needs a little help, then just ask for it. Not every day is the same. And sometimes you need a little more. And sometimes you need a little ease. And then try to feel your breath again. Where is it at? Is it still in your lower belly? Is it still deep? Or did you revert back to a default of more upper chest breathing, more shallow breathing? Try to remember in this pose that your neck is an extension of your spine. And I would invite you to see it that way, making sure that the entire spine, including the neck, is straight, so that your prana, your life energy, your breath can flow freely and without constriction. You're doing great. Just a couple more breaths. And on the next inhale, roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Doing great. For the next pose, I want you to keep your left leg extended and then open up the hips, whichever feels comfortable to you. Right now, I always want to keep my heels on the mat. That's why I'm sitting like this. And then I want you to fold one of the right leg into yourself. So sort of get that in a more, not really butterfly position, but get it closer to your buttocks. Next thing I want you to do is to twist yourself towards that right knee. Sort of open up. And then I want you to place your left arm on the inside of your left leg and reach with your right hand towards your right toes. As you can see, for me, it's a long way towards my toes, and that's fine. The goal is not to grab those toes, though if you can, then kudos to you, you're doing great. But the goal is to just stretch and feel the side body open up, keeping both of your sits bones on the floor. And yeah, you're doing great. Keep breathing. Keep breathing towards that side that we're opening up. And if it gets too much, you're just gonna go back a little and then ease into it again. Or if it's too much, in general, maybe you're just gonna leave that hand on top and just gonna stretch the side by moving your body that way. Oh, it's good. Doing great. Try to find the space with your breath. I'm so proud of all of you guys. If it's too much, ease up, and it's all good. No pressure. No need to perform right now. Doing great. Just a couple more breaths. Now on the inhale, slowly come back. Be real nice and gentle with yourself. This is not something your body is used to. And then once you feel ready, try to switch sides. And as you're there, I want to remind you that we first twisted. So now we're going to twist towards the left knee. Try to see where we find the space there. And then as we're ready, we're placing the left hand on the inside of the left leg. And on the exhale, we're going to get that hand overhead, moving towards the toes. You can do it. Keeping the right foot active and alive. And if the stretch is too much for you altogether, it might also be a good one to just fold forward just a little so that you can feel the back of the leg stretch. Doing great. Great way of taking care of yourself. So proud of you guys. Thank you for being nice to your body. Just a couple more breaths. Try to make them a little deeper than the ones before. And if the hand is too much again, then just let it be somewhere else. And if you feel it's enough, just come back. Breathing in, breathing out. You're doing great. Okay, for our final postures, we just have two more. We're gonna move into a butterfly position. Is this a good way for you to see, or is it better if I go like this? What I want you to do is get rid of the extra flesh on your buttocks again. Get your feet up against one another and see which works for you. You can either get them a little further out or get them a little bit more in. There's no good or bad. It has to do with the way your femur is actually in your pelvic bone. So just make sure that it feels good to you. And then when you're ready, inhale, extend your spine. Exhale, fold forward from the hip area. And then when you find your final position, I want to ask you to round the back and aim for the head to go into your feet. And if it's all the way up here, that's fine. And if it's all the way in your feet, that's fine too. It's just whatever feels comfortable to you right now. And easing into the pose. Feeling the stretch of your lower back. And feeling the hips opening up. If you feel there's a lot of tension in your in the insides of your legs, then please do find a couple of pillows and place them under your knees so that they can also relax in this pose. We want to open up the hips, but not by force. So do whatever you need to be comfortable in this position. And then, as always, come back to your breath. And maybe feel your breath go down all the way along your spine. Opening up the lower back area. And as you exhale, feel the entire spine relax. Maybe that also results in you going down a little bit further. We're not forcing ourselves to go lower. It's just a natural process. Inhaling, expanding, and exhaling, going down. You're doing great. If you feel that you're starting to yawn, that's even better. Your body is winding down and relaxing. Maintain your focus on your breath. And on the next inhale, roll all the way up, vertebrae by vertebrae. And use your hands to get your knees back into center. Maybe stretch the legs and let them roll one side or the other. And as you're there, then slowly come down onto your back. If it feels good to you at this point in time, roll onto your lower back a little, grabbing the knees. You can also grab the knees by just holding them with both of your hands. It gives you a little more space. Awesome. Okay, plant your feet on the floor. And as you're there, I want to ask you to place your hands into a T position. Then scoot your butt over just a hair towards your right side and let your knees fall to the left side. If at this point you feel that your legs are not supported, I'm going to show you from the other side. If you feel that some way your legs are somewhere here just floating, please get a cushion or anything underneath it and or in between, just whichever feels good to you. Remember that each day is different and don't judge yourself for needing something extra today, which you might not have needed before. It's all good. We're just trying to relax. And as you find your position, try to look towards your right hand, making the stretch complete along the entire spine. Doing great. And then breathe towards your belly. If it helps for you, you might even place that left hand on your belly. On the next inhale, use your hands to get your knees back towards center. And we're going to go to the other side, scooting your butt just a hair to the left side and then dropping them to the right side. And as you feel comfortable there, then maybe you can look into your left hand palm. Feeling the stretch of the lower back. Doing great. Going back to your breath. And on the next inhale, use your hands again to bring your knees back up. And then I want to ask you to make yourself super comfortable. Maybe that is by first rolling onto your lower back just a little, especially for the people who have a little sore back. And then grab your blankie, grab everything you need to stay warm, and come into the final resting position, Shavasana. Stretching both your legs out, and then getting them about mat width apart or hip width apart, whichever feels comfortable to you. Letting the toes fall out to the sides, and then placing the hands next to your body in about a 45-degree angle, making sure you don't touch any props except the ones you need, and facing the palms towards the ceiling. As you're there, close your eyes and try to feel what this practice did for you. Maybe you feel tingling sensations somewhere, or maybe you overdid it just somewhere and it's a little sore. It's all fine, just notice it. And then relax. Relax your forehead and all the muscles from your eyebrows and in between your eyes. Relax your cheeks. And relax your mouth, letting your jaw drop. And maybe your mouth is just a little bit open. Relaxing the tongue inside your mouth. Now relaxing the neck area and relaxing the shoulder. Relax your left shoulder. Relax your left upper arm. Relax your left lower arm. And relax your left hand. Relax your thumb. Relax your pointer finger. Relax your middle finger. Relax your ring finger. And relax your pinky. And relax your whole left arm. Relax your left chest muscles. Relax your left abdominal muscles. And relax your left hip. Relax your left upper leg. Relax your left lower leg. And relax your left foot. Relaxing your big toe, your second toe, your third toe, your fourth toe, and your fifth toe. Now relaxing the whole left leg, relaxing the whole left side of your body. Then relax your right shoulder, relax your right upper arm, relax your right lower arm, and relax your right hand, relaxing the right thumb, the right pointer finger, the right middle finger, the right ring finger, and the right pinky. Now relaxing the entire right arm. Moving to your right chest muscles. Relaxing the right belly muscles. And relaxing the right hip. Relaxing the right upper leg. Relaxing the right lower leg. Relaxing the right foot. Relaxing the right big toe. Second toe. Third toe. Fourth toe. And fifth toe. Now relaxing the whole right leg. Relaxing the whole right side of your body. Relaxing your whole body. As you hear the bells die out, deepen your breath and try and find a little movement in your toes and your fingers. And as you feel ready, stretch out the entire body, maybe hugging the knees into the chest and roll onto your back one last time. And then when you feel ready, come onto your right side into a fetal position and stay there a couple breaths. And then on the next inhale, use your left hand to push yourself up into a seated position, still keeping the eyes closed, maintaining your focus on your breath. And as you find your comfortable position, get your hands into Anjali Mudra, into prayer position in front of your heart. And breathe towards your heart space. Placing your thumbs onto your forehead. I say peaceful thoughts. Bringing your thumbs towards your lips, peaceful words. And placing your thumbs onto your heart center, peaceful heart. And with a slight bow, I whisper, Namaste.